to another Deprogrammed interview. I am your host, Carrie Smith, and I'm reporting from an undisclosed location in Montana. If you've been watching the channel this week, you know we've had some travel and schedule changes. I'm on the road with my husband, Anthony Garcia. He's playing at the Red Lodge Songwriters Festival, and so we are recording this there. And got the travel microphone. I hope it sounds okay. Thanks for hanging out. I'm very excited about the guests today. And I'm very appreciative because they were able to do this last minute with all that's going on with them. They're a band called Whom by Fire, and you may have heard of them this week because they were canceled from a folk festival, a music festival they were going to be part of because of wrongthink. That's the way I would put it. We're going to read the actual statement from the festival. But they were canceled, and the way in which they were canceled, from what I understand, we'll find out the real story from them, but they weren't even told exactly what wrong opinions they held. They just were kicked out of this festival. And so Birdie Rose is the artist Birdie Rose is the one who brought them to my attention. I checked out their music. They're phenomenal. We're going to listen to some of their music. Please welcome Whom by Fire.
Hello.
Hi. So it's Dan and Eliza, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Deprogrammed. Thanks for doing this last minute.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
You've had a busy week, so why don't you start? Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your band? How did you? As much as your background as you want to share. How did you come to form a band? What kind of music do you do? And we'll take a listen.
So we've been best friends for about 20 years now.
Yeah.
And we've been playing music for all of that time together. And and we're still doing it. We still love it. It's
still love each other.
Yeah. most of the time.
Yeah.
You've been doing music for 20 years together?
Yeah.
Probably about 20. I think it's probably more like 23 now.
I know. I was like trying to make it seem like we were probably younger than we are. So.
And your music, you said your sound has been described as from a whisper to a roar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of music, if you have to do, sometimes I know this is difficult. People ask me what kind of music my husband does. It's hard for me to put it in words. How do you usually describe it?
So I grew up listening to heavy metal, and then I got into acoustic music. And then I got really into Nirvana, and we kind of it's acoustic music with lots of melodies, harmonies, but we go from quite a soft to quite an extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, within one song. Yeah, it can be quite progressive as well.
Yeah, quite progressive. Yeah.
Not usually sticking to the kind of verse chorus structure. I mean, we have got those as well. But quite a few songs. So.
If I were to share a little clip now with you here, would you mind?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. I've got one queued up. You tell me if there's a better one to pull up. I have Please Have Your Way.
Yeah, cool.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
And you've got the video here for this. Now, because I've got you here, I know I won't be copyright striked by playing your music. I'm kidding. Yeah. That's happened to we joke about copyright strikes on this channel. Okay, here we go. You guys, this is Please Have Your Way by Whom by Fire.
Please have your way, so I can say sorry for the hurt. I don't think that I put you through. In my defense, I am not the of you. Though I did wrong, you can be sure. In your defense, you are not perfect for me. Don't bother me now, I understand. I can't help myself, I'm misunderstood. I must try to find my way. I can't take anymore, and I want to be heard, but I might not be here to reconcile. No, I might not be here to reconcile. I can't help myself, I'm misunderstood. I must try to find my way. Please be the one who understands, who will understand.
Woohoo! Well done.
Thank you.
I love it. It sets a mood. I don't know how I would describe it either. I saw haunting was one of the words so there. It's definitely haunting. But I love it. Tell people where they can find now the quality when I air music videos on this channel, because I'm playing a YouTube video on a YouTube video is not that great. So you guys go and listen to their music. We're going to put these links below, but tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, so we've got all the usual platforms like the YouTube channel. We're on Spotify and
you can
Bandcamp.
and you can download our music on all the usual platforms.
Yeah, I think on our Instagram account we use that Linktree thing.
And great.
That takes you to basically everything that we've got.
Okay. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, it's going to be in the description, the Linktree, the YouTube, all the links, the Bandcamp, everything. So just check it out below. So Dan and Eliza, let's get into what brought you to so many people's attention this week, which I think it can be a great thing. You can take a negative and spin it into a positive. Yeah. And I hope that's what you're able to do. Can you tell us a little bit about this festival that you were scheduled to play at?
So League Folk Festival is a local festival. We're from Southend-on-Sea. It's been going for several decades, and it's a really cool free festival that gets a lot of local artists and some international artists. We've always supported the festival and we've played it many times over the years, and we were really looking forward to playing this year on particularly a stage which was billed as a all-women stage.
Okay. And when is the festival scheduled to be?
It's happening on actually
starts tonight.
It actually starts tonight.
Yeah.
So Thursday. It starts Thursday and Friday, but the main days are Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. And so how did they get in contact with you about changing the plans for you to be there?
So we got an email, I think it was about just midnight on.
Yes, yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Early morning.
Yeah. Yesterday early morning.
So a day basically
Mm.
before, 2 days before,
So yeah, we were due to play on the Saturday. So
Yeah,
a couple of days.
a couple days. Okay.
A couple of days or so before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we received an email from them. So woke up to it, which was like, you know, looking a bit blurry-eyed, looking at my phone, trying to figure out. I was like, what? Wait a minute. And then my husband was in the other room. I was like, no way, what? Like just staring at this email. What am I reading? What is going on? And yeah, I was trying desperately to get in touch with Dan for a good couple of hours, like calling him, reading. Basically telling us that they've pulled us from the festival, gave us no concrete evidence of anything, what it's to do with, apart from insinuating it was something to do with a couple of comments or a comment.
Remarks made on social media
by one of your one of your band members.
And they didn't specify the remarks?
No. They said it had been brought to their attention, so they hadn't actually found this themselves or whatever. They had been told by someone. They'd been informed by someone about this.
Now, is this one of those festivals where you get some kind of fee for being there? Were you going to get a fee? Had they canceled that as well?
They made no comment about the fee in their email at all. Nothing was mentioned about payment.
We were supposed to be being paid, so
you were due to invoice them.
Yeah.
And then no comment about, we'll honor cancellation fee since it's last minute. No. I mean, this is your job, and they're canceling you 2 days before.
It's not only that, but we also had a session musician performing with us who we should really pay still. So it is very much putting us out of pocket.
People, I think, I'll just explain that from, being married to my husband and seeing how this happens sometimes with him when there's a cancellation. I think people don't understand. You've set aside that time where you could have taken other paid shows. And you've given up that time to be there and made that commitment, and then just for them to pull the rug out from under you. It's not just about not getting in front of that crowd and being able to be a part of such a fun festival. It's also about, hey, I do this for a living, and you just took away my earnings for this week. That's really infuriating. Let's read this. I just want to read their statement. Is so Orwellian. And for anybody who, I guess in 2023, there are some folks who presumably still say cancel culture isn't a thing. Just and you guys have already heard it. If you don't mind me reading through it, I'll read this quickly. It's pretty incredible. You'll notice they don't mention facts, just like in the email to you. They don't mention specifically who the band is or what was said. Okay, so here's their statement. Lee Folk Arts on Twitter. Lee Folk Festival is and always has been an inclusive environment where everyone should feel welcome and comfortable, from artists to attendees, volunteers to crew. It's been brought to our attention that a member of an act due to perform at this year's festival has made remarks online that are not in keeping with Lee Folk Arts values. As soon as we were made aware, the act's performance was pulled from the lineup. We or our curators would never knowingly book an artist known for this kind of behavior and apologize for any worry, anxiety, or distress this has caused. We thank the public for alerting us to this, and we stand with the LGBTQIA plus community, and then they put a rainbow flag emoji. What are your thoughts on that statement?
Well, it's full of things that are not actually true. Mainly being that we've played a number of years, so they are familiar with us. In fact, actually, the director of the Folk Festival used to be our band manager, so they know more than about us.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And have you said something that you think is described accurately there as being non-inclusive, or they don't even specify. They just say this behavior.
So we were trying to work out what it might have been that one of us had said, and we thought it was probably me. I might have said something.
What did you say, Dan? No kidding.
So we've got a thing called Southend Pride, which is an LGBT rights movement, and they had been promoting an event by an author called Mario Melli. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, and it's a book reading called Towards a Gay Communism, and he was an author who reportedly advocated for paedophilia. So yeah, so I did a social media post just questioning why that was being promoted. I mean, it wasn't an it wasn't an over 18s event either, so there would be probably children there potentially, and I just think that that's problematic on many levels.
Well, yes. I'm just looking this guy up right now, Towards Gay Communism, and he, as you said, promoted pedophilia. Why on earth would a festival take offense to anyone sharing an opinion about, being opposed to such an event? I think I know the answer, but for anyone watching or listening who might be a bit skeptical about cancel culture, or might knee-jerk want to say, oh, well, the festival's defending the LGBT community. This is specifically comments about an event from a person who has defended pedophilia and is reading, and it's a book called Towards Gay Communism with, as you said, an all ages audience.
Yeah, I don't think it's an all ages audience, but it's I think it's like 16 plus. So
Okay.
there will be non adults in this country who probably attend that event.
Right.
And we don't know exactly which social media posts Leigh Folk Festival objected to, but
because they didn't tell us.
They didn't tell us, but that was like one of the latest ones, and it certainly hasn't been denied by them that upon we surmised that was probably the one, and they certainly haven't said that it wasn't that.
Would you like the opportunity? Would you have preferred for them to have been forthright and transparent and said, given you the evidence of your wrong think so that you might defend yourself? Or would you rather just, if someone's going to treat you like this, just, rather not be there anyway? What's your feeling on that?
Well, it's actually in one of their policies that if they have a situation where there's some sort of disagreement like this, that they have to give the person the right of reply. So they've gone against their own policies. So I would have definitely rather had the opportunity to explain my angle rather than just being told that I had said something hateful or against their values.
Mm-hmm. Can I read, since we read their statement, I want to read your statement.
Yeah.
Because you guys released one, and I'm sure you posted it in a number of places. I read it here on Facebook, so people can find you on the Book of Face. And I think it's a great statement. So, Whom by Fire, you guys shared yesterday, we have been informed by Leigh Folk Festival that our performance has been pulled from the festival this weekend. Reasons given being, quote, remarks online that are not in keeping with the Leigh Folk arts values, end quote. Though Lee Folk Festival hasn't confirmed to us what remarks they are referring to, we can only surmise they are regarding the recent comments Dan made questioning what appears to be the sexualization of children in our schools, and another post regarding a book reading at South End Pride at an under 18 event of an author who reportedly advocates pedophilia. Whom by Fire are an inclusive, non-discriminatory band. We believe the decision made by Lee Folk Arts to exclude us from their event, especially without citing evidence, amounts to discrimination based on religion, belief, and the right to freedom of speech. We were very much looking forward to playing the Undines Present All Women stage, and are sorry to all the people who would have come to support us this Saturday. This was not the Undines decision, but the festival committee's decision, who have ironically canceled a female performer from the all-women stage. And then you have the lyrics, let love, 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 love overrule. And there you guys look lovely there in that photo.
Yeah.
So what are next steps for you? As you mentioned, they broke policy they didn't give you the right to reply. Are you considering legal action?
Yeah, we are, because I think it's definitely a lot of earnings, and it's potentially defamation.
Yeah.
So I think we've got no alternative really but to seek some legal advice. I mean, Eliza and I were discussing this earlier, and I think if they had retracted their statement and apologised, we wouldn't have sought legal action, because I understand that there's a lot of pressure on organisers to, fit in with the current, I suppose, like woke culture. But they haven't done that. They've had opportunity to, and they've just they've completely ignored us. So I think they're definitely in breach of their own policy at the very least.
Would you mind commenting on a kind of a big picture question? What is the purpose of art as you see it, and how does this statement and this action by the festival, what way does it rub you as in when it comes to the purpose of art?
That is such a good question. That's actually made me a little bit, I don't know, emotional, because to me it's such an expression of love and inspiration to people. And I feel like the festival has kind of squashed that that kind of opportunity to have that relationship that you have when you're a performer, and you're singing your heart out, literally singing your heart out to strangers and family and friends alike, and to have that taken away makes me personally feel very upset that can happen, and destroys a little bit of that soul that you have, and that love that music has, really. So that really struck me as soon as you said it, as soon as you asked it. I was like, oh God, I'm gonna start crying. Oh God. Sorry.
Well, I think it's what you're describing is kind of like a childlike joy.
Oh, yeah.
So what you're describing about the purpose of art makes me think, like, that experience you're describing makes me think of it's this human to human connection. It's childlike, it's joyful, it's this sort of innocence. And some people say art is divinely inspired. There's also people who believe, there's this divine inspiration. Even if you don't believe that, you're having this emotional connection with someone through music or painting or whatever your medium is.
Yeah.
And it's very open.
Yes. Yeah.
And this statement is the opposite of that. That's my gut. It's just this very negative, closed off, exclusive, it's very Orwellian. They use that word inclusive while excluding people. And I don't know. It's everything bad in my stomach.
Yeah.
It's bad in our stomachs too. It really does.
Do you have any comments on the state of culture in general and the state of art in general? Because I think these cancel culture events, these moments, it's happening to you as an individual band, but sometimes I think it has a bigger, more chilling effect on art as a whole. Where do you see things headed? Do you have a big picture outlook about the state of art and culture and free expression?
I think recently it's really highlighted how scared, and I think the only word I can think of is pathetic, a lot of artists have been, particularly over the last few years. And I mean, I've always seen art as something that should be dangerous and pushing boundaries, and it's been anything but that. I think the more people that stand up, it will make it easier for other people.
Yeah.
It's obviously not easy when you're seemingly in a minority. I mean, we thought we were in a minority, but the support we've had has been absolutely overwhelming. So
Yeah.
I think that should be encouragement for other artists to find their bravery.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about some of the support you've received.
Well, I think as talking of social media again, I think our social media support has doubled at least. Our record sales have gone up. We've had various offers. We're still in the process of going through those actually and replying to people. So it's just been like so touching to. I mean, we've really felt the love actually.
Yeah.
So and it's, you know, we've reached more people with our music than we would have done from this show at the Lee Folk Festival. So they've actually done us a favour, I think.
I love that. There is a verse in Genesis. I'm gonna mangle it, but it's part of it says, "You intended this to harm me, but God intended it for good."
Yeah.
And it's a verse about how anything can be, even the intent to harm can be used for good. And I love that people are supporting you. And you guys, if you want to support as well, I know why people are doing it, because we're tired of this. We want to make it impossible to cancel people when it's like, you know, we're canceling you for wrong opinions. And those of us who consumers, I hate that word. Those of us who buy an art, we are patrons. we want to say, no, you can't do that. We're going to step up then. So as I said, the links are below. If you guys want to go buy their album, if you want to follow them on social media, if you want to turn this around so that it's a big positive step for them in the end, something that was intended to hurt them, you can be a part of that. I would love it. So I don't want to keep you too long, but any final thoughts? Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
It was really nice to speak to you.
Yeah.
And
just about the whole support thing. I'm not good on social media. I do find it's a double-edged sword. It can be, obviously it has its incredible benefits and positivity in many ways, but it's also got the negativity and the abuse it you can get from it as well. So I'm not great on the internet, but just over the past 24 hours, having people just like complete strangers just getting in touch with us, just saying, not even saying they're buying our music or whatever. I mean, that's obviously an amazing thing to do, but just saying that they support us and are standing by us and stuff. These are strangers. They don't need to do that. And I just find that incredibly, like, beautiful, really. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that.
It is beautiful.
It's
great.
Yeah. And it shouldn't take something like this to cause that. You know, we should be encouraging and, you know, loving people without all this crap going on. You know.
Okay, what's next for you? What's we'll end on something positive since you shared that beautiful bit of gratitude. What's next for you music wise, and also what's something that has been bringing you joy recently?
We're going to record the Freedom song.
Yeah, so we're going to release a single next week.
Yeah.
It's called the Freedom Song.
Yeah, we thought it was quite a good.
Yeah.
Like, it's a song that was written. We wrote it absolutely years ago, but it's one that I feel like is a real anthem song. You know, something that people can really sing at the top of their voices. I think it'd be a really good one for us to release next week in light of what's been going on.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that next week.
So Freedom Song next week.
Yeah.
You're putting that out.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably
looking
won't
forward
get
to
time
it.
to do a video for it, but we'll get the song out, that's for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dan and Eliza. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for stopping by Deprogrammed. I wish you nothing but the best. And yeah, I love it. Turn it around on them. Make something good out of it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Happy.